Well, thank you so much for joining us on this live broadcast. This is ZimdiTv, and my name is Oscar Bambuka. And you know, Baguti, we hope we find you well wherever you are, whether local, regional, or international. Now, let me just start by giving you an update of what this program is all about. This is this and that. Icho ne icho ababatiro bata nyaya dzakasiyana siyana, nyaya dziri kuitika kumaraini, ungava mu Zimbabwe, ku South Africa. Regionally and internationally, we cover so many issues focusing on the society at large. Now, women constitute about 60% of Zimbabwe's population, and a lot of issues surround them, especially the girl child. Issues to do with rape, abuse from, could be the parents themselves. So on this program, we want to cast the spotlight on the girl child, focusing on a particular social platform which has gripped the entire web by storm. I'm talking about the Vagina Diaries. Yes, we want to shed more light on that in the studio. I've got an activist from Katswe Sistahood, Talent Jumo. Thank you so much for joining us on this and that.
Thanks, Oscar.
Maybe you can start by telling us, what is Katswe Sistahood all about?
Katswe Sistahood is a young women's organization, and our area of focus is body politics. We are basically working with young women in different corners around Harare, but also in SADC. And our agenda really is to support young women to recognize that they have rights, and in particular sexual rights and reproductive rights. Those are enshrined in the Constitution of Zimbabwe. We have so many policies in the land. And our agenda really is to make those policies known to young women. So we basically are going into communities, supporting young women to understand what kind of rights and entitlements they have. And then we also support them to recognize any violations and develop action plans that should enable them to act on any of those violations.
Now, you mentioned the word body politics.
Yes.
Okay, let's underline that term, body politics. What are you looking at?
We're basically looking at the whole idea that women and girls should have full control and ownership over their own bodies and lives. Because I believe that that is the entry point. If we're talking about women's empowerment, girl child empowerment, first allow that woman to have total control over her own body. I mean, I've heard we have a lot of campaigns around ensuring that women can participate in decision making, be it in the political arena or in government or in big businesses. But our belief is that if that particular woman is not able to determine what happens with her own body, for example, who she can sleep with, when and how, if that woman is not able to decide what they can put on a daily basis because somebody out there feels they have the authority to determine what a good woman should look like. If as a woman you're not able to do that, we want to make that a very political issue because it ultimately disempowers you. It means that you are not able to have full control and ownership of your own body, and therefore I think that is the deepest form of disempowerment, and that is what we are looking to tackle.
Let's move on to just by looking at the title itself, raises a lot of eyebrows. Vagina Diaries.
Yes.
What led you to come up with such a term, Vagina Diaries?
Because first I have one. and my whole identity, is grounded on my anatomy. I'm a woman, and how do we distinguish a man from a woman? It's basically on the basis of anatomy, and the vagina has been used to make us feel lesser of human beings.
Okay, who's making you feel like that?
Okay, so I mean, we live in a society where somebody, if they get an STI, they will say I have a women's disease, and meaning that they're basically blaming it on the woman they would have slept with. We live in a society where just because I have a vagina, I'm a woman, I find myself in places where I'm oppressed. I cannot say anything because you women belong in the kitchen. but a good woman should behave in this particular way. So we find it very oppressive that by virtue of having the vagina, this particular anatomy, we are regarded as second-class citizens. In a patriarchal society, we live in a patriarchal society where male privilege, determines what happens. So males are basically more privileged than females, and the main distinction is really the anatomy. And so
So why couldn't you call it penis diaries?
No, because I mean, this is where our struggles are centered. I think this is we came up with the Vagina Diaries because we wanted to chronicle women's experiences, women's struggles based on what they face because they are women.
Okay.
And they are women because they're vaginas. So, we're talking about the violations they face or the rape. We want to chronicle all those life experiences. And it's mainly struggles that are centered around the vagina.